have been sober since October 27th, 2016, so today would be 102 days. I've tried to get sober one other time in October 2015. It was in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, where I was living. It was a 10-day inpatient treatment program. For me, 10 days wasn't even enough to really detox. They had some really good elements, you know. I identified my triggers and my boundaries. They gave us some life skills and things like that, but 10 days was clearly not enough for me. Probably about 3 weeks later, I was back to the exact same, you know, previous behaviors. This was a complete experience. I've said it in the past that, you know, coming to this treatment center, coming to Andy's house, was a family. It was actually like working with a family, everybody contributing to get better. You know, this was much more therapeutic. We had more groups where we actually learned more about ourselves. We learned, you know, there was more physical fitness, which I really enjoyed. Yoga. I've never done yoga in my life. I was so afraid of it. I was scared to death of yoga. I came to love it. It was much more diverse of a program, and you know, the fact that it was 90 days inpatient facility, that for me was exactly what I needed. I couldn't just stay for 10 days or 28 days or just do outpatient. I knew enough about myself that wouldn't have worked for me. And that's exactly what it has done. You know, I've been to meetings every day, and that's something that I learned. You know, I didn't know anything about fellowship. I didn't know anything about meetings. I didn't know anything about doing service or giving back. So for me, that was the biggest difference. Oh, in September of 2016, my stepfather passed away, and I was essentially homeless. I had come back to Quebec from Nova Scotia with just the clothes that I was wearing. And I stayed with my mom for a little bit, and while I was there, you know, in the midst of all her grief, I completely emptied her liquor cabinet, like everything, like every bottle of beer, every bottle of liquor. There was nothing left. Had I known that she had prescription medication, I would have jumped into her pharmacy for sure. My 7-year-old niece was at the house, and she was going through the recycling. And she was pulling out all of the empty bottles that I had drank. And it was a little embarrassing, you know, and my sister had a little bit of a fit, and she spoke to me, and, you know, I was essentially homeless. I wasn't employed. This was the perfect timing, and that was it. You know, I couldn't go on. I was completely bankrupt, emotionally, spiritually, morally, financially, physically. I had nothing left, absolutely nothing. I needed this, and it was time. I'm much more active. You know, when I was drinking, I wasn't getting up in the morning. I wasn't washing. My personal hygiene went out the window. Now I have a structure. I have a daily structure where I get up early. I'm enthusiastic to get up early. I'm calling people. I have a fellowship. I am going to meetings. I'm eating well. I'm showering every day, which sounds odd, but it's true. It's something that we neglect. I'm giving back. I'm doing service. I'm helping others. You know, I just now I'm getting to know myself, which is something that I had never done before. And for me, that's like the biggest reward in and of itself, is to getting to know who I am. Those are behaviors that I didn't have in the past, and I didn't really care about. You know, the only thing I really cared about, the only behavior I really had, was getting that next drink or that next drug. I can't remember. Lucky Charms?
Yeah.